Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to RAF Leeming. This is Nick B 007's RAF Leeming, available on flightsim.to, and the weather doesn't know what to do itself in the sim today. I've had to load in again just because I had a bit of a technical issue, and this is live weather, live time, and it does seem to have brightened up a bit. It was proper murky just before, and I guess it was kind of sleet verging on snow, but it's brightened up a little bit. But I think where we're going to be going, it's probably going to be a tad murky. But anyway, this is where we are, RAF Leeming, as I said. We are in the high performance group H145, and we're going to be using that along with the high performance group H145 action pack. We have this fantastic repaint here from Demo Designs. It's of a real Sea King that flew with 202 Squadron, including some time up at Lossiemouth, which is where I normally fly it, but this is the real thing. This is the real old girl. At the moment, she is being very well looked after by historic helicopters, and what a splendid helicopter she is. I'm really hoping that one day when Taug's Hangar gets his Sea King out, someone does a repaint of this old girl, because that would be rather nice. So we're going to be using this repaint, as I said. We've also got, so I remember everything, we've got the Davierosoft Random and Anywhere mod. It's also called Random and Everywhere in some places as well. But that's what we're going to be using, and we've got the M. Gonzalez sound pack, and we've got the Kekker's voice pack as well. But this is the cab. She is beautiful, great fun. If you know the sim, if you know the mod, then you'll know all about it. If you don't, if this is the first time you've heard about it, then I'll try and cover some things off. But do feel free to ask any questions in the chat, by the way. I don't do tutorials because I think to do tutorials you've got to be an absolute expert, and I still consider myself to be learning, but more than happy to answer any questions if I can, because I just love this stuff. It's great fun. So what are we going to be doing? We are going to, if I get the right page up on my loop deck, here we go. We are going to be going over this way into the Yorkshire Dales. I'm going to try and set up, it's been a while since I've done it, but I'm going to try and set up a custom search and rescue mission over here in the Yorkshire Dales, just so we can go and have a look over there and see what it's like. The weather, as I say, is a little bit murky, so I'm not sure if we're going to get much sightseeing in, but it should be interesting anyway, and it's always interesting flying real world live weather. If you want to come along, you are more than welcome. We are here at Echo Golf X-Ray Echo RAF Leeming, and on the Western Europe server. So if you want to come along for a mystery tour, then you're more than welcome. You won't be able to see the mission assets, but at least you know, like me, you will enjoy the flight. Hopefully, I would said mystery tour, but actually, because we're doing customization, it's not going to be quite so much of a mystery, is it? Okay, so I think I've covered everything off. Hello to everyone in the chat. Mark, David. David, hopefully I've answered your question now. I've just seen your question in there. There's some lovely Chinooks. It's cracking scenery, this, actually. It's the first time I've had a look at it, but it's really nice. Nick's scenery is excellent. I love his Lossiemouth, which of course I use most of the time. So, right, shut up, Rob. Let's get flying. So, first of all, I need to get into the mission. Let's remember the sequence. Honestly, a week back at work, and I'm forgetting how to do things. Okay, mission library. Come on, get the click spot. Random and everywhere. This is what I'm talking about. On the page, it's random and anywhere. Here, it's random and everywhere. But it kind of makes sense. Incredible mod. It's free, amazingly, and it's written by a guy who instructs Airbus helicopters in the real world. So he's got a fantastic attention to detail, and he certainly knows what he's doing. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that there. I'm going to set a custom location here, and I'm going to, let's have a look. Where do I want to focus it on? I want to focus it on yeah, let's focus it on this area. Get it in. Come on. For some reason, there we go. Accept. Bum, 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 bum. So that's all good. These are all the things you can select. A huge amount of stuff that you can go into. It's quite incredible. Single player. And then we've got to come up here, get the battery on, and now we can fire up our mission radio. Which is that? Checking up here, power up test. That's going through. We should get power up test okay. Computer's just testing itself. There we go. We've got power up test okay, so that's good. Our radio here is connecting. The beauty of this mod is that it simulates time. So the time it takes to connect things, to work on patients, all that kind of stuff is all simulated. It's not instant stuff, which certainly adds to the immersion. Okay, so let's connect to the mission center. And then we're going to do a custom mission. And I'm going to go select a mission. We'll go search and rescue, and we will. Where's a good one? There's no glaciers up here, so we don't need to worry about that. Missing person in a wood. No, I'm going to go. We'll select the hiker on a mountain. Happy with that. Happy with that. Happy with that. Select variant 4, just click that, and there we go. Actual full scene. Received a call about missing hiker. Custom location. Select custom location. I'm just going to do that again just to be sure. So there we go. We've got that marker over here. I'm just going to reuse that. See if there we go. Accept destination. That's so good. Start selected mission at custom location. Yep. Go on, get the click spot. And now we just wait for everything to come through.
Cabin preparations, please wait.
So, this is us getting going now. Just looking out for the chaps. Where are the chaps?
All cabin tasks completed. Ready for departure.
No, you're not, fellas, because you haven't arrived yet. That's a little bit worrying. Oh, here they come. Here they come. There's one. Where did you come from? Let's jump outside. What normally happens is that the crew load up, but I think because I've been messing about with the custom locations and all that sort of thing. It's let's see what we got. Get fast, come on. I'm using chase plane, so I just need to adjust that. Okay. Not seeing anyone else walking around. We haven't got a ground crew either, so this might not go to plan. But let's have a look. No co-pilot at the moment. Not sure where he is. We can actually quickly check on... Okay, I'm not seeing anything there. Let's go back up to here. At least one injured, waiting for information. Received a call about the missing hiker. Search and rescue is required, so that's absolutely fine. Happy with that. Mission in progress. Close the window and open dispatch. Bum, 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 bum. That's okay. Go back here. Okay, something isn't quite right. Sometimes this is quite a complicated mod, and sometimes things don't always click into place, and we seem to have a few missing bits, but I am almost willing to give it a try. So the cabin guys are saying they're ready for takeoff. I wonder if I can trigger the if I can trigger the co-pilot by doing this. No. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Okay, we might have to start again because this might not work. Just checking to see if there's anything I can particularly do. I don't think so. We've accepted it, so I've triggered that. That's all good. That's fine, so that should be working. I go back into here. Mission in progress. That's all good, so that should be fine. Okay, it could be sometimes if you select a mission in a certain area and it's not too sure about it, that can break it. It's the thing about this mod is it's incredibly clever, and there's so many different parameters in it, and if something isn't quite right, or if you set it up in not quite the right way, which I'm beginning to wonder if is what I've done here, but I'm just looking for clues to see if there's a reason why things aren't as they are, and I can't see one. So what I'm going to do is we're going to abort. And just check around, and then I'm going to restart it, and I'm going to try and allow it to do its own thing a little bit. Oh, quickly turn those off. Okay, so we've got the crew back. I'm not seeing the ground crew at the moment, but he might appear any second, so we'll go single player. I'm beginning to think something is a little bit buggy. Oh, Mike, has he? Okay. Yeah, it's definitely not getting the usual. As I said, there's no ground crew appearing. I wonder if some recent update has broken it. I've not flown it for a week. But we've got a mission coming in. I just don't know where it is going to be. Just waiting for this to... actually, do you know what? I'm going to start again. Abort mission. Let's come back up here. Let's try and turn the battery off. Get back to the state that we should be in. We will go... I'm just going to do that. Select the mission. Wait for that to load in. There we go. We will have single player. Okay, now that's looking better. We've got a ground crew now. I think we are in business. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to select the custom location, but I'm not going to select the type of mission. So we'll just see what it throws at us. Accept. Single player. Did I turn the battery on yet? No. Let's do that. And back down. Just wait for this to come to life. There we go. Continue, continue. Waiting for that to tell us we can push to call. There we go. That is now connected. There's the crew coming out. So the sequence is working now. We can see the ground crew doing their thing, and we can see the crew walking out to the helicopter. So that's good. That's a good sign. We're just waiting now for the mission to come in. Hello to everybody that's joined, by the way. At least this technical glitch at the start
ready for the mission?
has given you enough time to load in, which is good. It's nice to see so many helicopters, actually. And it's nice to see, if I'm not wrong, I think the weather is clearing a bit.
Good morning, Frank.
Hey,
Okay.
Frank. Good morning.
There we go. Reported injured in camping accident at Peak campsite. So that's a good one. So let's accept that.
Strapping down the equipment. Stand by for confirmation.
So chaps in the back just doing their thing now. Stowing the snacks.
Hi, Captain. Helicopter is ready to fly.
Right, me and fella here, we'll...
Fuel tanks are almost full.
That's the ground crew.
If you need refueling, please ask.
That's me. That's the ground crew telling us what they've done.
Check.
I'm now going to get in, and I'm going to start up the helicopter. So we'll start 1, 2. Get some lights on. He's going to jump out. There he goes.
All cabin tasks completed.
Area clear. Ready to start engine 1.
Something's caught his eye. He's meant to be looking at us. Interesting. Okay, we'll start engine 1. Dude, pay more attention, fella. I've never seen that happen before. There is definitely some oddness going on today, that's for sure. Collins, I actually don't know, mate. I don't necessarily have an opinion on it, to be honest. I wasn't aware of it. I've actually got a book. God, I haven't read it yet. It's Irish. It's not the Coast Guard that got though. It's the Irish. I think it's Irish Army Air Ambulance Aviation, which I need to read, and I can't remember what helicopters they were flying in that. Okay, sorry, I should have been paying attention for a start. I should have done a battery check.
Engine clear.
Okay, I should have done a battery check before we started. After the technical glitch at the start, I'm just so eager to get it up and running. Dread Metis, bonjour monsieur, comment ça va? Robert, how are you doing? Paul, morning.
All engines started successfully.
Okay, so nice start on 2. That's all good. Just looking at that, that's absolutely okay. So we can now go up here. He's doing the leak checks. We can get everything up and running here. So we'll have avionics on, DC reception for the guys in the back so they can plug in their Game Boys and God knows what they use these days. That's all their equipment and that sort of thing. Right, that's all good. Put the pitot heat on. Let's have the strobe on. I'm going to put some lights on just in case it gets a bit murky in the hills. And let's get some heat on.
Okay, all good.
There we go. That's all good. Okay, spark up the GTN XI. We're not going to be using it, but need to have that on. That's all connected. That's all connected. In terms of warnings, all we have got
system
is
test okay.
Engine in idle, which is fine because we haven't sparked it up properly yet. So I'm going to do that now. So we'll put engines to flight. Checking here, everything looking good while we're doing that. And okay, come on, there we go. So that needs to get to 101, and then we need to do a couple of bits of housekeeping. First of all, I need to select my nav to MSFS in this TDS GTN XI bit, because that's what's driving our nav is being driven by the mission. And then also you can see we've got a white line and we've got no distance information here. For some quirk, I don't know if you do it with the PMS as well, but we just have to cycle the Garmin using the home button, and then magically we've now got our information there. And I can't quite believe, so look at that, it's ignored our custom spot and it's sending us to the other side of the country. Okay, let me think. I wonder if I can... do something. Don't think I can. Okay. This really is turning into a test flight, isn't it? So we're going to abort. least we're started up and ready to go. Random and everywhere. I'd normally just do the random bit, and I don't. There we go. That's all cleaned up now. So I put the custom location in. So why it didn't. Why it wouldn't do that, I do not know. Custom mission. Select a mission. I'm going to do it this way again. Search and rescue. Missing person has been reported 2 days ago in a wood. I'm trying to find areas where it's not going to trigger an error because it will look for certain parameters. Okay, I'm going to use. We'll do the paraglider. Select this mission and select that, and I'm going to custom location. Set custom location. Earth is going on with this today? Just gone absolutely bonkers. Right, let's try again. I'm just going to plonk it there. Set destination. So we've done that. Start selected mission at custom location.
Cabin preparations, please wait. Due to impervious conditions of the accident site, we should evaluate to call on board expert heli-rescuers. Use the tablet to decide if we continue alone or if we take the heli-rescuers on board.
Okay, I'm just going to let the cabin preparation roll, but this isn't working. And I think
all
we are.
cabin tasks completed. Ready for departure.
Okay, that's looking better. That's looking better. So we've got that. That's absolutely fine. Waiting for information about rescue vehicles' presence, which is good. We've got our location here. We've got distance on the map. We've got a blue line there. So that looks like it's working. This isn't necessarily doing what it should do. That's almost showing that it's not connected. So I'm going to trigger that just to see if we can wake it up a little bit. But we've got a mission. It's saying cabin ready for takeoff. So I think we're just going to press on and see what happens. Right. Sorry everyone who's been waiting. This might not work, but to hell with it. We're going to go flying. Oh, there we go. Right. So wind is coming from behind us. Quick check. Obstacles, got some dirty grey big hangers. I'm just going to pop a taxi over here. I wasn't actually going to be testing the mission today. I was going to be testing using DLSS with the mission, but it's turning a bit more into a bit of a test of the mission. There's obviously been some sort of an update. There's the wind, so we'll just come over this way. Got 17 knots of wind, so it's certainly not a little breeze. Hey Murdoch, how you doing? Ah, that explains it. That's why.
Be wide.
Okay. So the Biz, as you can see, is not great at altitude. But so far, we've got the right things showing. So we've got distances, we've got a route, and the tablet is saying fly to the accident scene. So I think we're okay on that. Just watching the speed. That'll do nicely. Stick it onto autopilot. Couple, so it will follow that, and I can have a quick check of the chat. I am going to, however, just notice those red bars. It's incredibly sensitive. You get bored of me saying this if you watch the stream, but it's incredibly sensitive on overtalk if you have speed set. If you're following IAS or you have IAS set, it a sudden gust of wind and suddenly the helicopter pulls power and you're you know, you suddenly find yourself braking the engine, which no one likes. Dread Sparky, how are you doing? I've got to ask you both, what on earth is LO Miss? Because you both say it when you join the stream and I've no idea what it is, but I've seen you do it other places as well. Is it some kind of a little code you've got with each other? Oh, Norman, thank you for subscribing. I've just seen the message there. Okay, so I'm just using the collective trim, collective beep trim, which in this mode will allow me to... Okay, there we go, we got overtalk there. See, the helicopter started to judder all of a sudden, and that's what happens. If you make any changes to altitude in autopilot, and you're travelling at speed, it can have undesired
terrain
effects.
ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull
so
up.
I'm going to
terrain ahead.
fly it
Pull
manually.
up. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for advice. I am visual with the train, therefore I'm going to turn you off. There's a lovely 500. That is a cracking helicopter to fly. Right, let's get going again. So yeah, I've got to say I'm really impressed with DLSS 4.5. I've never used DLSS because it just, the ghosting on the displays just didn't work. It was horrible, so I just never bothered with it. And now with this 4.5 it seems to be quite crisp. Getting some funny effects on the trees just over there, but apart from that it seems okay. It's the line in Monty Python's Parrot sketch. I'll have to check that out. I know I mean obviously the sketch is well known, but I will have to have a look at that, Sparky. Do love a bit of Monty Python. It's an interesting building. What on earth is that? It's almost like Autogen gone mad. Right, let's do a couple of things here. So DMAP. Is that no? Wrong way. There we go. And I'm going to put the synthetic vision on there, just as we get a little bit higher. We're proper James Herriot territory here. If you ever watched All Creatures Great and Small, the new or the old, this is where we're heading into it. It's very picturesque. I can't remember the last time I flew up in this neck of the woods. I should be ashamed of myself, but it is one of the really beautiful parts of the country. There's the Coos. Hello, Coos. Getting a little bit of wobble in the helicopter again. Oh, I'll have to check that out, Sparky. I will have to check that out. Do you know, it's funny, it's one of the best known sketches for the Monty Python team, but I just realised that it's been a long time since I've, well, obviously it's been a long time since I've seen it. I used to work with a guy who'd watched the films so many times he could actually kind of quote. You could almost read the whole script from memory. Gray, how you doing? Glad you've caught a live one. There we go. Now that's interesting. That must be a DLSS thing. The trees. I don't know if you can see the trees in the distance, but it's almost like a heat haze ripple effect. Until we get closer, I say DLSS. I've never seen that before, so I'm just guessing that that's an effect there. Perhaps. I can't see it being something to do with the weather, or maybe actually it's a combination of the weather, the kind of mist, and DLSS. Who knows? I know nothing. I just like to fly the blooming things. I'm not a techie guy. The computer and all the settings and all that kind of thing is a necessary evil to be able to do this kind of stuff. I would much prefer if you could. I almost envy console users because you just do it. You don't have all these. Well, I suppose you've got in-game settings, haven't you? Thinking about it, I'm talking out my backside because you've still got all those bits to do. But you know what I mean. It would be nice just to jump in, do it, and fly without messing about. But I've got to say, yeah, no, Murdoch, I completely agree. For 4.5 with the displays, you just wouldn't know. You wouldn't, there's just no ghosting at all, and it's much smoother, much smoother than I was getting with TAA. And the detail is good as well. I don't feel like I've lost any detail. In fact, I think I turned my detail up a little bit. I think I turned up my ground objects, or ground, whatever it is, up just a little bit. So we can see blue skies up there, so all we've got at the moment is a little bit of mist. When I was first setting up earlier, we had, it was actually sleeting and snowing. Sorry, I'm getting carried away sightseeing, and I keep forgetting we're actually on the way to an emergency. That's the River Ure over there. True Yorkshireman would probably say, "You don't pronounce it like that, lad." Yeah, southerner. I nearly swore there. So, well, you got to be careful. I have to say, I am half Lancastrian, Lancashire, and Lancashire and Yorkshire have always had this bit of a rivalry. But my half southerner, my half South Londoner, kind of steps in as the referee and says, "Forget about it. It's beautiful in Yorkshire. It's beautiful in Lancashire. Shut up. Just enjoy it." So we're just tracing the river here. You can see that we're on course. I am forgetting our roll though, as I said before. So let's have a quick look. What I'm going to do is see if we get the. There we go. 41 years old female, a paraglider lost control, making an emergency landing at unknown position. Sorry, just concentrating on something a second. Where were we? Unknown position. Waiting information about rescue vehicle's presence. Symptoms: visible open head wound. That's the only weird thing. We've got. I guess we have to assume that the pilot has somehow contacted us and said that she's got a visible open head wound. Landing spot default. Receive position. Last known position before contact lost. Exact location is actually unknown, which is where the whole search and rescue thing comes in, which is what we're going to be doing. Look at this, the scenery is looking absolutely beautiful now. Wow. Sparky, you're Lincolnshire, I never knew that. I don't know why, I always thought you were a London boy. Robert, I've not seen that. Brilliant. Yeah, I have to go up to Lancashire a couple of times a month with my day job. I wouldn't say it feels like home because ironically I never actually lived up there. Well, actually no, that's a lie. I lived there briefly. I also lived in Yorkshire briefly, but I was so young in both instances that I can't remember it. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, the scenery here is just lovely. How the hell haven't I flown here more? I'm trying to get to a point where I can just... There we go. So I'm just going to quickly put you on autopilot. Watch that speed. See what I mean? You see those red markers are coming down. It's almost like the engine wants to kill itself. So I'm just coming back on the speed a bit. Whoa! Just having to play with my chase plane cinematics, as you probably guessed. Love it. Absolutely love it. Right, let's focus. Just as well I came back. Let's have the autopilot off. Wobble again. What's the wind? Wind is 24 knots crosswind at the moment. 25 knots. So let's see what we can find. Now interestingly, normally with a search and rescue you get a... Okay. It's there. You get a red search and rescue area circle. I was going to say we haven't got one, but we have. It's just a little bit small. Dread, no, and I tell you why, it was entirely my fault. I'm glad you, thanks for bringing that up, I'm glad you remembered it. Yeah, anyone who saw the live stream where it was the Warbird one, wasn't it? And I went into flyby mode and my mixture went back, and then I had another one where the whole sim crashed. The mixture was entirely my fault because I had... without realising it, the same key that I was using, the same keyboard press that I was using... Oh, watch the speed. The same keyboard press that I was using for flyby view was also mapped, without me realising it, to mixture cut or something like that. The actual crash where the whole sim crashed, I've not had that. I've only ever had it happen that one time. But I'm certainly a little bit more cautious about using it. I don't know if anyone else has had it, by the way. I don't know if anyone else is using Chase Plane and they've had crashes from flyby view, but that is the one and only time it's happened to me. So we're coming up on the search area now. Hopefully, the way this works is the... Sorry, I've just been distracted. I can see a figure on the map there. That's unusual. Yes, we fly into the area and we have to search, and luckily the crew will help out doing that. The crew will keep their peepers open and see what they can see. And because we need to focus on doing the pilot thing. I'm really interested what that human figure
I
is
set
there
a
for?
possible hospital destination for our patient.
That's
The advisor
usually because there's
available on
another,
tablet.
you know, like
We
there's
can
someone to go and
confirm
pick
or
up.
change
It
later.
won't be the person that we're looking for. That's for sure. I wonder if it's didn't say anything about mountain rescue, did it? Have I missed mountain rescue? Come on. Receive as last known position, landing spots, default zone. Maybe it can't be our landing spot. That's okay. What have we got over here? No. So, for whatever reason, we've got a figure there. It might have been... I wonder if it was mountain rescue from the previous mission where we aborted. Ah, do you know what? I wonder if on the previous mission where it was taking us to the other side of the country, I seem to remember it said about picking up mountain rescue, and I wonder if it chose my custom location as the points to pick up mountain rescue, but then was weakening us to the other side of the country to actually do the casualty pickup. I wonder. Anyway, we need to get looking. I will show you in a sec, Mr. Grey Wildcat. Actually, you might be able to tell. How much you'll be able to tell. There you go. If you have a look at that, that should give you a rough idea. And when we get on the ground, I'll put the little nav map on. So here we are. We're in the last known position, but there's no one here, so we can start searching now. I'm just going to wind that in a little bit, just so we can see what we're doing. Check the speed. We don't really want to go above 80 knots for doing this kind of stuff. It's really interesting doing this here. I'm normally up in the Highlands of Scotland, so it's interesting doing it in some new scenery. And I do get it, having seen a bit of All Creatures Great and Small. I can kind of recognise the vibe up here as well. All the stone walls, really good detail as well. So yeah, I think I was trying to say before, but mine got completely off track. So search and rescue, obviously we've got to look for someone. Quite often if it's searching for a missing hiker, you're literally looking for a human being. And the thing with search and rescue, certainly from the air, is that unless there's another human being around on the ground, the eye doesn't necessarily know what scale it's looking at, if you see what I mean. So sometimes it's quite hard to spot them because you're looking for something that maybe isn't quite as obvious as you think it's going to be. The advantage with this one is because it's a paraglider, we should be able to see a paraglider as well, so it might make it a little bit easier to spot it, but we'll see. So I'm just going to come around this way now. What have we got? Wind 35 knots, so it's quite windy. We're actually getting to the point where the helicopter potentially starts to behave a little bit strangely. That has happened before flying up in Scotland. It suddenly goes absolutely absolutely bonkers and behaves in a very unusual way. Loving this scenery, it's so damn detailed. Really cool. So I'm going to come up the hill. Kind of makes sense to have a look around the last known area. Keep it a little bit tight. Sometimes it's a bit more obvious. For example, if it said missing person, you know, suspected falling off a cliff or something, then you look for the cliff, or you're searching cliffy areas. dark clouds over there, aren't there? Certainly want to pick him up before we hit that. The other thing about doing this sort of thing, of course, is it's really good flying practice. Good way to get to know the helicopter. There's a lovely 500 again. Oh, what's that? Is it rocks? Is it sheep? Rocks. Yeah, just rocks. For 1 minute then. That's the other great thing about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is because there's so much detail in terms of the ground. You can actually see things and think it might be something you need to look at, but actually it's just some nicely placed 3D rocks. I'm loving this scenery. You need to fly to Yorkshire more, lad. And you need to stop trying to talk in a Yorkshire accent, because it's nothing like it, probably. You daft apeth. Sometimes you get a sense, but in a mission like this, where it's a downed paraglider, I mean, they could literally be anywhere. There's, like I was saying, there's no obvious points to look at, and that weather is closing in for sure. That looks very nasty. Into the valley a bit. Let's keep an eye out for something that looks like a paraglider. Now there is a way you can cheat. You can look at oh, there's a helicopter. You can look at a little nav map because it will show the objects that you're looking for. But I'm deliberately not looking at it because I want us to find it. I want us to actually search for it and find it. Do it proper like you do it in Yorkshire. Shut up, Rob. 31 knots tailwind at the moment. Another 500. Love it. And, you know, I was saying at the start about how it kind of simulates time, and that's exactly what it... Oh,
I believe we found something. Check on tablet. Yes, confirmed. We found our target.
Well done, lads. See, this is what I'm talking about. The crew, thank God. While you're busy flying, the crew can actually have a look for you. Yeah, I was just about to say, it kind of simulates time. And effort, so you don't instantly find your target. You actually have to work for it. So where? It's an awful stuttering there. Where are you? Oh, is that it? There we go. Eyes on. Right, let's have a look at somewhere to land. So we've got quite a lot of slope going on. The flat bit over there, but it's a bit of a trek for the lads. However, I've done all the work so far, so let's see. That's quite flat, isn't it? That's quite flat. So we've got a belting headwind here. Absolutely belting headwind. Let's close the tablet so I've got better visibility. Collective sometimes in this helicopter behaves very strangely when the wings are strong. So we are going to be on quite a slope here.
We are reasonably close.
If I can... No, that's not quite. There we go. To idle. Need to get off this as quickly as we can before that horrible weather comes in. Right, actually, let's also get the labels on. There we go. Now we can see who's here. We've got Speedy Pro, we've got David, we have got Mazinki. How you doing? Have I missed anyone? Scotty. We've got Hawkwind. Quite busy on multiplayer today, actually, generally in this area. Right, let's have a look down here so I can tell you. So, there's our dock. Is it our dock? Yep, there's our dock. We've got a doctor and we've got a paramedic, and basically the whole idea of HEMS is that we take the expertise of the hospital critical care to the patient in the field, rather than just grabbing the patient, hoiking them into the back of the helicopter, flying them back to the hospital and hoping for the best. So now it's going to simulate the time it takes to work on the patient. And this is where, as the pilot, we can kick back, put on Netflix. I tell you what I will do actually. See if the doctor rather, is going to give us an indication. Ground operations in progress, helicopter area clear, operations may take a while. Let's see if he's given us any estimated ground operation time. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, I'm going to keep the engines running, I'm not going to mess about. We'll keep that running. And as I said, we have just got to sit and wait now. If I get the, where is it, medical diagnostic page. There we go. So as they work on the patient, we start to get a bit more information. So at the moment we haven't got a name. We know she's 41, she's a female, paraglider accident. She's dressed incredibly inappropriately for flying paragliders in the winter in the Yorkshire Dales. Status upon medical arrival, we haven't got that yet, and she's emergency code 3, which is no risk to life. But as they examine her and all that kind of good stuff, then we'll get some more information. Let me lock off. There we go, lock off the head tracking. Wow, right, Grey Wildcat, you wanted to know where we are. So let me quickly jump back here, little nav map, there we go. We are here, so we are just to the east of Snaresholm, isn't it? There you go, Snaresholm, what a lovely Yorkshire name. You see what I mean there actually, if you look at the map you can see all the objects. What is that over there? That's that man that we could see. I'm almost tempted to go and see what that is. Bertiset Hawes, just south of Hawes. Right, I need to jump back in here because stuff's happening. So, you didn't see that. The paramedic, doctor's still working on the patient, but Raptor up, and the paramedic has gone to get the stretcher. So that's what we're waiting for now. If I... There he is. He's just unloaded the stretcher. Off he goes. I can have a swig of tea, and it is Yorkshire tea. Yes, keeping it on brand, on theme. Right, you can see we've got more information now. So we've got a name, Christina Guzman. Status upon medical arrival responsive, that's good. She's still emergency code 3, which is no risk to life, and patient conditions is 66 on a life score of 0 to 100, 0 being they don't need us now, it's too late, and 100 being do not waste the RAF's time doing this kind of thing. So where are we going? We're going to James Cook University Hospital. Come on, get her in. I see she's had a haircut.
Patient on board. Take care.
Holy trucker. This heli goes nuts on me randomly. Tries to do a backflip when I give too much power. It's fine with altitude hold though.
Cabin secured. Ready to fly.
It sounds like a binding thing. Also, are you doing anything with the cyclic when that happens? Are you using the cyclic trim release? Guy, how you doing? I should say, Rotajez, who's just joined, he is the chap who, I'm going to quickly show it again, that's his helicopter. He works for Historic Helicopters. He very kindly gave me this photograph of X-Ray Zulu 588, and there she is, again, just in case you missed it before. But that's Rotajez in the chat. He is an engineer, mechanic, a miracle worker of the spanner type. The kind of chap who gets very frustrated with a chap like me who turns up and says, I just want to fly it. I don't understand. Right. Let's get engines to flight. Let's get VMS page up so we can check. .9 nautical miles to the hospital. Let's wind the... so we're going over there. I am intrigued by that human figure there. We're going to go and have a look. She's life conditions 3, so let's face it, she can blooming wait. But I do want to see if we can see anything there. Because that would be interesting. Right, lifting. Okay, obstacles. Bloody big mountains. Big nasty clouds. But they're far away, so we don't need to worry about that. Wind is currently 28 knots on the nose, so we'll lift, do a quick hover check, and then go and see if we can see what that mystery figure is. Because I've not seen that before. Just slide off the hill there. Okay, all good. No warnings coming up. Getting a little bit of brown out. See the colours have gone weird because we're kicking up dust. That will go shortly. As we exit that, just head into wind a wee bit.
VTOS.
Pick up some transitional lift. I'm now going to come round. See what that is. Let's watch the hillside. That is dark skies, isn't it? I bet that is absolutely full of snow. And it won't just be any snow, it's going to be Yorkshire snow.
V1.
We were lucky. Look how close that is. We're going to be running away from that. Right. What have we got down here? There somewhere, but I can't see anything. Get out of the way, that's my pilot figure popping in. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything and I'm not inclined to hang around really. There's nothing obvious there. Okay, lads, let's vamoose. Just stick us back into wind again. 26 knots, so it's calmed down a little bit, but it's still quite heavy. Let's have one pass over as we go into wind just to see if we can see anything obvious. I've not seen the usual sound. Usually with mountain rescue there would be an emergency vehicle, like a mountain rescue vehicle and that kind of thing, but I'm not seeing anything there, so It's obviously spawned a figure there for some reason, but nothing that we need to worry about. Right, watching the power there. I bet you are, Guy. I bet when you get your kit all set up again, you will just be tears of joy rolling down your little cheeks. I think I would be. I remember last year, was it last year? Yeah, beginning of last year, I did a BIOS update following all the instructions and everything, and it nuked my my C drive. It wouldn't boot to Windows, so I had to reinstall everything. And my computer was down for about 2 weeks or so, and God, I missed flying. I didn't realise how much I use it to unwind. I don't get much time in the sim these days, but I'd forgotten just how it's almost like my version of meditation, especially helicopters. Yeah, JNL, and the scenery, I was just saying before, the scenery up here is so crisp, so detailed in 2024, it's amazing. Right, so we're going to the James Cook University Hospital. We are 16 minutes out. I'm going a little bit faster than I normally would, given the issues that you sometimes have with over torque, especially in strong winds, but I just want to get us on our way. We've got to come over the top of this hill, so converting some of that pitch into climbing. Wow, that weather really is closing in. Let's keep climbing. Everything is looking good there. Pop you on now that we don't need to have our eyes glued to the VMS page. It's funny, isn't it? I'm always in terms of scenery, driving up to Scotland to see scenery, and forget how much beautiful scenery we've actually got in England. This is just beautiful. Not as wild and as craggy as the Highlands,
500.
but nonetheless it's very picturesque, I have to say. Well done, Yorkshire. Height. The snow over there. So I'm converting speed for height a little bit, because what I want to come back on the speed ever so slightly. I want to get some more height, and then we can have some more outside view stuff. But I'm so cautious doing outside views. Reason being because, like I was saying before, when it's on autopilot, it goes absolutely nutty, and it can over torque in a flash. So I've got it on autopilot now. It's got IS mode in. I've got the speed set to 90 knots. Should we have some outside views? Why the hell not? Okay, let's try a flyby view. Will it survive? Of course it will. Actually, don't speak too soon, Rob. Steady on, fella. Let's have some cinematics. It's actually quite handy, this chase plane, because as someone who makes YouTube videos, you can actually, whereas without chase plane you're having to manually pan shots and do all that sort of thing. With chase plane now, you can stick it on cinematic mode and just see what it generates, and it can do. Sometimes it comes up with some really beautiful angles like that. That's nice. It is a lovely repaint. I've been flying this repaint since January of last year, and it was actually Guy Rotogez in the chat who pointed out to me, because I think I said on the Discord. Yes, we have a Discord. Link to the Discord is in the chat or in the video description down below if you're watching it on repeat. I think I've mentioned in the Discord that I wish that there was an RAF Sea King repaint. That's a nice shot. And Guy very kindly said there is, and hooked me up with it. Right, let's jump back in here, and then I'm going to go to drone view. Okay, it's not quite done what I was expecting, so let's try get the right controller. Come on, come on. Okay, that's a bit worrying. Why is the helicopter turning? Why is the helicopter turning? Okay, what have we got? This is why you don't faff about. There we go. This is what happens when you leave the helicopter on autopilot and you start looking at pretty views. Okay. It's almost like it lost autopilot for a moment. Let's so I'm just manually overriding the autopilot at the moment just to see what the problem is. But it seems okay. Okay. I'm going to let the helicopter have control back. So the helicopter is back doing its thing. We're over talking. Let's come back on that slightly. Yeah, spot view is what I'm looking for, Sparky. I know you're a bit of an expert on chase plane. I have got some controls set up on my loot deck, and one of the buttons I've got is drone view, and for some reason pressing drone view it was going to flyby view as well, so I was trying to get out of that. Holy Trucker, is the Random and Anywhere mod free? It is. You need to have the action pack expansion from High Performance Group, but once you've got that and the H145, Random and Anywhere mod is free, and it's crazy because it's got so much going on for it. It's hard to imagine that it would be free. Okay, I'm going to take back control of the autopilot, or from the autopilot. We're going to manually fly it. I think something threw it off there. So I'm going to fly us back to the course that we're meant to be on. Watching the speed. It's funny how the sim does weird things when you're in outside views and it's on autopilot. For some reason it's like there comes a point, I don't know if it's distance from the camera or there's something where it just sends everything crazy.
500.
Calm down a bit. So I'm just going to get us just intercept our course. I'm just going to come back on the speed a little bit. Okay, let's see what the autopilot does now. And a couple. Straight away you can see it's pulling power, so I've got to come back on the speed a little bit. You nutty autopilot, what has got into you? I know it's a chilled out Sunday, but there we go. So I'm just going to bring us back to there. Let's have a quick look. We're 10 minutes out. Let's not forget the patient. Let's see what condition the patient is in after all that. She's still 41 years old, so that helps. She's still... oh, okay, patient condition is 69. Something I should have said is what it also simulates is the patient condition changes, so it can get worse, it can get better. And luckily, because our chaps are working on her in the back, she's getting a bit better. So all is good. Grey Wildcat, we're on the Western Europe. Binky, I was just on our Sunday group flight coming into land and it suddenly glitched me up to 12,000 feet. Jesus. Was that the H145 on autopilot? Here we go, going into the Merc. So I am going to use the collective beep trim just to reduce altitude a little bit. You can see the green marker there on the altitude tape. This very nearly was a Spitfire flight, by the way. I was contemplating flying the Spitfire, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it's not great weather for wafting around scenery in a Warbird. So we've just flown over Scotch Corner, by the way, a well-known place if you are heading north. Say you're driving up to Edinburgh from the south. That's nice, isn't it? Get the labels on. Okay, so autopilot behaving itself. I am not going to do any external views now, just in case that gets thrown. We are just coming up on Durham Tees Valley Airport. Just well, we couldn't see it for a moment, but it has gone into the Merc. It's come down a little bit more, I think. And our hospital is actually Middlesbrough. So that's what we're flying into. Oh, it's an F-16. Oh, okay. We've got a jet. Chomsky in an Albatross joining us. I'm surprised it can fly that slow. I've never flown the Albatross in this sim. Should do really. Right, where are we? 7 minutes out. Need to focus, lad. Focus! Focus on the task. Holy Trucker, no, the H160 at the moment doesn't have it doesn't have an action pack expansion, although there was talk before Christmas that they were working on it. Just not sure when or where we're actually going to see it, but that would be rather cool if they do. I think generally we're all kind of waiting for High Performance Group to, fully properly update the H145 and the H160, and it may be, hopefully, that they'll do some kind of an update on the two helicopters and also release the action pack expansion for the H160, because I'd love to fly that. It would be great to be able to do this sort of thing in the 160. The only problem is I've then got to try and beg someone to do a repaint of X-Ray Zulu 588. Right, 6 minutes out. I'm just going to use the collective beep trim just again to reduce our altitude a little bit more. Let's go down. There we go. I wonder if this is the weather that we were fleeing from before is kind of starting to envelop the area now. It's definitely closing in. The visibility is dropping. Shall we be brave and do an outside view? Let's come back on the speed a bit. See that crabbing? It's doing it again. Let's try something. Okay, I obviously need to go into the menu, do something. See, the helicopter started oscillating a bit. It doesn't like outside views and autopilot. Wind is quite actually. Oh, I can see also. We've now got a 44 knot tailwind. So the aircraft is going to behave very strangely. The actual real world limits of this helicopter are around about where we are now, so this ain't clever. You can see the helicopter kind of swaying from side to side, battling this crosswind, which right now is, you can see, is pretty much slamming into the side of the helicopter from the right. Computer's doing a wonderful job of fighting it right now. 4 minutes out. So drone. So drone seems to be locked in flyby almost, doesn't it? Spot. Quick check of everything. 3 minutes out. Wind is 30. Wow, it's gusting. So My wind display on little nav map just went from about 25 up to about 40, just like that. So it's obviously gusting, which makes sense considering how much the helicopter's getting blown around. But we'll be alright. We'll be alright, won't we? Eh? You lot in the back. Oi. You, yeah. We'll be alright, don't worry. Don't worry, I know you know. That's the doctor. He gets more nervous flying. The co-pilot here couldn't give a monkeys, could you, fella? You couldn't give a monkeys. Every day is just another dollar for you. You really don't care. Well done. Good chap. So we're approaching the hospital. I've not flown into the hospital. One of the other things with Random and Anywhere, it's very clever. It will pick an appropriate hospital for you to take the patient to, which is great. But what we never quite know is what Asobo is going to throw you in terms of you know, the landing pad. And sometimes it can misinterpret it. If you saw the last stream where we were flying in Cyprus, it interpreted the big square helipad at the Paphos General Hospital as being a shed, like a big warehouse, so it plonked a building on top of it. Whereas, you know, or sometimes it's just a couple of trees or something like that, so you never quite know until you get there. And the trick is, if the helipad is blocked by some nasty piece of autogen, you've just got to come in and do your best and try and get as close as you can. Right, so we are coming off autopilot. I have control. See if we can do a recce on this. Blooming awful stuff.
500.
See if we can have a good recce of our helipad. Get an idea of what it's going to be like. So I'm just flying slightly to the left so we can have a look out the windy. See the way the helicopter is buffeting around, rocking around. That's a good sign that it's getting
Rear crew, we are approaching the landing
a
site.
lot of wind effect on it. That looks like the hospital up there. So obstacles, we've got a huge great church, we've got a big tower. Is that the helipad right next to the tower? Looks like a helipad, smells like a helipad. Or am I just imagining? No, that is the helipad there. Right next to a tower. There it is, okay, and nicely the good old 2024 scenery has got it, a nice H baked in. Okay, so we're going to come round this way. Let's close the panel there. Just going to skim round. We can do an approach into the helipad. Some awful stuttering at this point, which I only ever seem to get when I'm doing live streams with multiplayer on, so I don't know if that's what it is, but let's have a look. So we're into wind now. We've got 42 knots on the nose, but she's behaving herself at the moment. Got what looks like oh, it's just a tree. Oh, she suddenly lifted then. This is the kind of stuff that starts happening. Suddenly starts jumping into the sky, or you're having to fight the collective. There we go, and again, so it suddenly dips. Let's just come over this tree. Having to do a lot more work with the collective than you normally would when it's like this. There you go, see it suddenly lifted. Come on, let's just get you down.
Rear crew, prepare for ground operations.
Hold your horses, lads. Hold your horses. It's like there's a hand picking it up and
Ouch! It was
yeah,
a hard landing this time.
that was hard.
Sarah won't
There's
be
like
happy.
there's like a big hand kind of pulling it up and down. Right, now this again is another indicator. You see how the rotor speed has suddenly rocketed? That is an indicator that the wind speed is messing with the simulation of the helicopter. That happens when the helicopter system in the sim can't cope with the current weather conditions. It doesn't. It kind of the I guess God, what do I know? The coding and all that kind of stuff doesn't tend to play very well. So we've got the engine set to idle, but our RPM is too high. The RPM needs to come down to offload the patient, but you can see how it's doing that. Again, that's all because of the wind. So what I'm going to do is we are going to close the engines down. Now, last time I tried to do this, it actually the engines wouldn't close down, and I think we're going to see the same thing here. See, so engines are closed down now, but our RPM is just off the charts. So it has completely lost its mind. If I now... I'm trying to see if there's a way that I can trigger it. I'm not sure there is. I mean, I've literally... the engines are off, as you can see. I don't even know, I mean, you shouldn't do this, but if I yank the rotor brake on... yeah, it's not letting me operate the rotor brake. So effectively, it's disappointing. It's disappointing, but hopefully by now you know that Sparky always appears with advice. Yes, I've just tried the rotor brake, mate, but it's not working. Not working. Probably because the RPM is too high. So yeah, it's disappointing, but this is what can happen. We've that really nasty weather that we were trying to escape before has kind of caught us up, and when the wind is strong, the H145 simulation breaks, and that's effectively what's happened. We're no longer in the realm of simulation. We're now in the realm of a computer just not being able to work itself out because the wind speed is so high, and it is a known bug with the H145 at the moment, and hopefully it's something that we will see getting fixed in future updates. But unfortunately, the only way I can do anything about this... oh, hello, has the wind speed dropped? There we go. It's finally now. I hadn't touched
Helicopter in
anything.
position. Rear crew, you are
But
clear to start operations.
the calculations that were going on in its little brain had obviously reached a point, maybe the wind speed dropped momentarily to a point where it could calculate whatever it needed to calculate. And now, as you can see, the hospital crew are doing their thing, and then our chaps will weak the patient out. And now you'll see, there we go, now because the RPM has dropped, it'll let me use the rotor brake. Quite sensibly, it won't let you yank the rotor brake on when the RPM is so high, because that would just be silly.
Patient has been deported to the hospital and is safe.
Yeah, really looking forward to Hype getting the update sorted out on these. It will make life a lot easier. Okay, we can have those off. I'm going to close everything down. Boom.
Cabin secured, ready to fly.
Something else, actually, the eagle-eyed amongst you and the ones who use this quite a lot will notice that if I pop my head down there, it's not asking us to do any paperwork. That's another weird thing that's crept in. Normally it simulates the doctor going in with the hospital crew and doing the paperwork. But it doesn't seem to happen at the moment. So again, something is obviously updated and doing something there, but that's what it's all about. I'm going to end the mission there, so that's all good. But I mean, you're watching this because you're into flight sims, so you know the curse of the flight sim hobby. Things don't always go to plan. There's always something that needs updating. There's always something going on. We're always spending some time trying to tweak or correct or test or whatever, and it's just the way it is, and that's the reality of it. And you know, I if you follow the channel, you know I stream the H145 a lot. Most of the time the flights go without any issue. Every now and again there's weird stuff going on, and there's definitely weird stuff going on today, but at least we know mostly why. That wind speed is just too high for it. So lesson for myself, because I always try and take something out of this. What I should have done is, as soon as that airspeed picked up, as soon as the wind speed picked up, I should have come out of live weather and put it into something that was a little bit more sensible and within the kind of real world parameters of the helicopter. Instead of just carrying on with live weather and asking the simulation to do something that it's not really meant to be doing, because we're not really meant to be flying. What on earth is that? Oh, someone has parked an H145 in our H145. Amazing. So yeah, that's really what it is. Every flight, whether it's real world or simulated, there's always something to learn from it. Do you know what? I hate that phrase takeaway. What are the Tarquin, what are the takeaways from this? I hate that. But you know what I mean. It's what can we learn from this for the next time. And there you go. That's what it's about. Anyway, look, thank you ever so much to all the people that flew along. I'm going to, there we go, jump back out here. We will do a quick, let's get that on, get the labels on. There we go. We'll do a quick shout out to all you lot who joined along. Always lovely to have other people flying along on these trips. I know they can't see the mission assets and that sort of thing, but hopefully you know, there's some interesting scenery to see and all that kind of stuff. It's like an impromptu group flight, isn't it? But yeah, thank you to you guys for flying along. It's been an absolute pleasure having you up in the virtual skies, and also you for watching. I hope you found it entertaining. As I said before, we do have a Discord. I can see Streamlabs has actually just recently punted the link into the chat there. So come along and say hello. Really great bunch of people. There's a helicopter channel in there, a warbird channel in there, a GA channel in there. Yeah, really nice bunch of people. So if you're on Discord and you want to join, that's where to go. If you're watching this on repeat, there's a link down in the description below, so we can see you there. But anyway, in the meantime, thank you for joining. Enjoy your Sunday. I hope you have a great week. Oh, I might be streaming on Thursday night. I don't know what yet. I don't know what exactly I might be doing, or if I'm going to be doing it, but there is a chance at the moment I might be streaming on Thursday night. But anyway, whatever. Shut up, Rob. Let people get on with their Sundays. Wonderful to see you. Take care now. Bye-bye.